Ohm's law has a formula, the V equals IR, that is by far the most important formula in electricity. It may be the most important formula on the MCAS. It's first or second. Now there's something unique about it that I want to explain by reading this. To begin with, V equals IR is the only formula that the MCAS will refer to using a name. Think of other formulas you've seen, P equals MV, F equals MA, things like that. They're not referred to in the MCAS with a name, but the MCAS will refer to this term, Ohm's law. A question could start like this: according to Ohm's law, and here's the key. You should know what that means. It means V equals IR. It's probably the only formula they will refer to by a name and assume you know the formula that goes with that name. So when they say Ohm's law, you got to be thinking V equals IR. You need to be able to do that. Can you? What's the question here? What is the Ohm's law formula? You know that by now, right? From what I just talked about? Sure. Here it is. It's V equals IR. Pause and think about that for a minute. When the MCAS asks you about Ohm's law, they are talking about that formula there. And my dogs are barking. I'm going to continue. Alright. So Ohm's law is easy. Here it is, V equals IR. Voltage here is 6 volts. We have 2 resistors, so resistance is 12 ohms. By the way, here's your video code. Ohm's law. About 3/4 of the time you're asked to solve for I. That's current, isn't it? Unfortunately, current is I. So because of that, here's a form of V equals IR with I on the left. This is a useful form, isn't it? If you're going to be solving for I about 3/4 of the time, this is a useful version of V equals IR to know. And I hope by now you've heard me drill into your head a million times that you need to use the blue sheet method to do these things right on the MCAS, correct? And you're going to do it, aren't you? So I don't know current here. I'm going to use that version of the formula, but first I'm going to write down what I know in the blue sheet method. Voltage is 6V. Resistance is 12 ohms. What am I looking for? I is my question mark. Then you can find that formula. I'll put down this easier version of it. Plug in 6 for V, 12 for R. My current is 0.5 amperes, 0.5A. Easy enough, right? Use the blue sheet method though. If you don't, you're gonna wish you did on the test. Now of course you could use either version, couldn't you? We've been using this. This is just a copy of the previous page. I'm looking for I, so I'm going to save a little time and use that version of it and we get that answer. But if you wanted to use this version, which is on your MCAS formula sheet, you can, right? Again, start your blue sheet method the same way. V and R and I is question mark. And then you could choose to use this, couldn't you? And then we'll substitute here. That's going to be 6 equals I, which is what we're looking for, times 12. The only thing, a little extra work here, if you use this version, you got to do a little solving, don't you? You got to divide by 12 here. We didn't have to do that here. And so you will do that eventually, and you'll get I equals 0.5A, just as you did here. Okay? So that's it. Ohm's law is easy. The only tricky thing is when they say Ohm's law on the test, I hope you remember that that means V equals IR. Bye.